Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Day 555, September the 1st, 2023. The moderator checking in here first. JD, thank you, my friend Rick Berry. Slava Ukraina, Gerum Slava. Tonight, I'm going to show you something about those heroes. Prayers continuing for Ukraine out of California. Hey, Hernan, my friend from way down south. Argentina, welcome to you, sir. JJB, other side of the planet, and it's already tomorrow. Good morning to you. Florida checking in. Ricochet, welcome to you. Australia coming back in strong. Skeghead, you're getting an entire group of Aussies in here, and it's awesome. So thank you guys for being here. Pat Schoaf, welcome to you tonight. So much stuff. I've got a lot of video. Russ Castella, welcome to you, sir. Checking in from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Jeffrey Burnett out in California. Another moderator. We thank you guys for all that you do. Nathan Fody, I'm pretty sure that's Vacaville, California. I think. Somewhere out there, I think. Pretty sure. Anyway, all is good. And actually breaking right now, reported on Russian news is a drone attack unfolding on the Kerch Bridge. It's not even hit any Ukrainian news yet. So we'll see. Carl Elwell, good evening to you as always, my friend from Vegas. Maybe you do know this or do not know this, but the way we operate our calendar, for example, here in the United States, is fall really doesn't start until like the 20th of September, 21st. Well, in Ukraine, Russia, many of those nations, the calendar is basically broken up into January, February, March. No, let's see. June, July, August is summer. September, October, November is fall. December, January, February is winter. And March, April, and May are spring. So today is actually the first day of spring, first day of fall, and also the first day of school. And I tell you those things tonight because we're going to be talking about a lot of that. So thank you for being here. Thank you for continuing to do all that you do, liking, sharing, subscribing, turn the notifications on. And I can tell you, people are still donating like crazy. And just yesterday, we sent a nice chunk of money to our team there with Zhenya. They're getting ready to make 3 runs again. And we'll keep you updated with every bit of it, as always. Additionally, today, believe it or not, I received an invitation to go to the Ukrainian embassy in Washington, D.C. That is September the 14th, I think, for a state dinner. And, of course, that's coming through my friend, the senator over there, Pavlo Ungurian. But it starts at 9 a.m. in the morning, and there's all kind of things happening there in the embassy and the cultural house. And then there's an evening dinner with all the officials, and I've been invited. So am I going? 100% yes. I leave for California the next day, but I'm going. And it's about a 5-hour drive from my home area down to DC. So I will be there, and let me tell you something. You guys will be there because I will have our camera running, and you'll see. It's going to be good. But great invitation, just came out of the blue today. Pavlo sent it to me. So there we go. That's what we're going to be doing. We'll keep you updated on that as we get closer. Let's jump right in tonight. Counteroffensive, that's the title of the update tonight, because Ukraine today released their official summer report on the counteroffensive. They released the exact amount of square kilometers that they officially mark as gained. And it is, I'll show you in just a moment, but I can tell you right now, over the last 24, 36 hours, Ukraine is making an incredible push on the south down there. Remember, we were looking at the map, and I know that that is written in Ukrainian. That's in Ukrainian, not Russian. But we were watching the Ukrainian forces push into Robitny, and then we showed the video of the flag being raised over Robitny. Well, now, listen, those frontline pushers are rolling, and they have taken up quite a few more square kilometers there, and that's the main push, guys. Yes, we've had other pushes, and I'll show it to you right now. It's all been good, of course. We haven't pushed them out of the country, and many people hope for more because fall's coming. And remember what I try to tell you guys. In Ukraine and in Russia and in much of Europe, that whole region, Poland, Belarus, the Baltic states, when summer's over, winter can come very fast. Autumn many times will confuse itself with winter. So we've pretty much, there may be a few more weeks of good weather here through September, but once you turn into October, it can change in a heartbeat. So we need to take advantage of these gains. Ukraine, this is directly below Zaporizhia here, due south. This is their good push. This Kamyansky here, this is where we're helping people. Remember the cafe? Zhenya was sending the message, my cafe there we eat. That area, Russia's push there. But this is Ukraine's big offensive now. And as you can see, they've broken through the first line. Yes, there's a second, there's a third line. That's okay. We've broken through the first line, and we shall see what unfolds. So we're thankful of that. Russia did here on the western side make a touch of a push, but Ukraine's rolling, and it's very, very good there. Everywhere else, pretty much the same, although here, Russia did take back Dorozhnyaka. Ukraine did have that, and that's a little counter push there. Same here below Veliki Novosilica. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed all throughout. Now we turn to the north on the east around Avdiivka. Everything is the same from the pushes a few days ago or the updates a few days ago. We move up coming toward Bakhmut here, and nothing has changed. Very, very slow changes. Kremenna, this region up here, and Kupiansk. This is the area where Russia's making their strongest push in the north. Don Gentilini, you've been here since the beginning. Did you hear? You may have just jumped on. I got an invite to the Ukrainian embassy in a couple of weeks for a state visit about Ukraine. So I'm looking forward to that. But I know you've been with me from the beginning, so I want to make sure you're aware. All right, so that's where we're at right there. It's good. That's the counteroffensive. Now, Ukraine's official numbers. As of close of business on August the 31st, 2023, on this summer, Ukraine has recovered 248 square kilometers. I do not want to downplay that because many are downplaying it as a slow play. They're outmanned, they're outgunned, and they're taking some territory. So that is wonderful. We've gained 248 square kilometers. I know Russia has 45,000 square kilometers that they have invaded, but it's going the right direction. And the thing is, where Ukraine has chosen to make this push, which they could have focused anywhere, but where they've chosen, remember, there's a reason for this. If they could get to Tokmak and then even to Melitopol, it would be a complete game changer for the war. So we'll see. It's a long way to go, but committed to the end. And Ukraine today reiterated that they are committed to the end, no matter what the world says. For example, John Kirby coming out today and saying, we do not support the deep Ukrainian strikes inside Russia. Of course, he's going to be representing the United States, and they're just not happy. that Ukraine is reaching out and touching someone. But I can tell you tonight, Ukraine's not going to stop. President Zelensky said today, kind of interesting timing, but he said, quote, "The strikes of the armed forces against Russia are giving us a sense of justice, period. Now we fight fairly." And here's the other thing. I would call President Zelensky on that a little bit. Not that I don't agree with him. Ukraine does fight fairly, but we remember Russia fights unfairly. They strike civilian targets. They strike residential homes. They type schools. They attack hospitals. They do attack infrastructure, but it is not their focus. Their focus is all of the above. Ukraine striking critical infrastructure, Ukraine striking air bases. And I can tell you they are not going to stop. Sir, Tim Ryder, you are 100%. If it was our war, we'd be hitting every target we could inside the aggressor nation. That's exactly right. And not only that, we would have already hit them. It wouldn't have been the same. Mark McLaren, I'm glad you're in here tonight from across the pond. Yes, first 10 Abrams are coming to be delivered early October, mid-October. Good evening from Northern Nevada. Welcome. Everybody's spread out all over the world. It's awesome. In fact, Mark McLaren, you stay tuned because I'm going to ask a question for you in just a moment. No gloves in this war, hit them everywhere. That's what Zelensky is saying. And the Ukrainian people, if I had Jane in here tonight, he would tell you, it feels good that they're able to put a little bit of fear on the citizens of these regions and cities that are being hit with military targets, so that an air alarm goes off in their neighborhood, or they hear air defense going off, or they hear their airport being hit. It's a good feeling. Take it a step further. Mikhail Podolyak came out today. So here's the order. John Kirby says, we do not support, and he's speaking for the United States, of course. He says, we do not support the deep strikes. Zelensky says they're finally feeling a little bit of what we live with. It's fair. And then Podolyak comes out. Remember, he's the advisor to the office of president. He's the spokesman. He said the drone strikes on Russian soil will increase, not decrease. They're going to increase. Now, I also have more information on Biscoff. You'll hear about that in just a moment. In fact, this is the media floating around Ukraine today. So you have the sequence. Kirby makes his statement. Zelensky makes his statement. Podolyak makes his statement. Here is the video clip running around Ukraine today. No sound. It just says coming soon. You can see a couple there looking out a window, and you see the Kremlin being struck. Coming soon. This was everywhere today. So listen, just like you guys are saying we would do the same, fair fight, gloves off, Ukraine understands that. Now, the rest of the world doesn't understand that, but Ukraine understands it, and they're not backing down. In fact, they stated today, that's the other thing Podolyak said. I've got it right here. He said, no negotiations. That window's been closed a long time ago. No more negotiations. Not going to happen. So that's where we're at up to that point. Biscoff, this is what I have for you. The guy that you're looking at in the upper right-hand corner, that is Budanov. Budanov is the director of security services for Ukraine, extremely high-ranking. I know he looks young there. He's not. He's late 40s. That's young. Yeah, I just had a birthday. That's young. But He looks like he's 28 or 30. He's not. He's late 40s, and brilliant guy, good communicator, tactical, how he represents Ukraine on that security services front. This was his quote, and I'm quoting it. Now pay attention to this. He says, "We are operating inside Russian territory," Budanov said. And this is in regard to Biscoff. Now, I can confirm to you guys personally, I have sat at a cafe multiple times in Ukraine having conversations with soldiers, special forces that have now become very good friends of mine, that not only confirmed that Ukrainian military is working all in Russia, but actually, of course, I could never show them. Showed me the pictures, showed me video, showed me when he's crossing the border. I mean, they're everywhere, guys, working inside. You also have the Russian partisans that are working there. You also have, remember, the Russian Freedom Forces. They are Russians fighting for Ukraine and fighting for a new government, a whole new change in their country. It's Russians who love Russia that hate the Kremlin and are against the war in Ukraine. They're fighting for Ukraine. So you have really three groups running around inside of Ukraine. And Budanov confirms it. He says the Biscoff is, we're not going to tell you who did it, but we're operating there. Also, he did not tell us which drones were used. Folks, this is simple. Okay, I'm going to show you now a video of the strike on one of the Ilyushins that was filmed by the observational drone. Okay, this is logical and simple to understand. You do not have just 4 or 5 guys running around and setting a piece of dynamite off on an airplane. First of all, they're not getting to the airplane. They were drone strikes. Secondly, the precision that they had to utilize in enemy territory to do that, however they did it. Second, the amount of munitions that were needed on the drone, I'm assuming they were kamikazes, had to be enough. They had to have the intelligence enough, because they not only hit the planes, they hit fuel, everything. Of course, it was a calculated operation, and there's no question. Budanov tells us Ukraine's working there, but we're not going to tell you who did what. Now, we do have video of the strike, and the symbol here on this is the intelligence department for Ukraine. So here you can see the strike. So this is an observational drone. It's got the thermal or the night vision. There's the explosion. No audio on that. So talking about the heroes, but you know, you do have enough technology there where they're running the observation, they're running the attacks. I'm sure there's coordination in those efforts there. So that's the update on Biscoff. Russia transferring S300 systems from They're transferring the S300 systems from the Kuril Islands, and they are releasing out of deep storage a whole new swath of 50s and 60s, late 40s, early 70s tanks, sending them to Ukraine. You may ask tonight, where is the Kuril Islands? Well, I will show you here real quick, because many people do not know that this is a point of conflict for Russia. It's right here. Let's do this. Here, let me go back due north so it makes it easier for us to look at the map. Ukraine, right here, you know the shape. You come all the way across Russia. You come all the way to the Pacific Ocean, and down off Kamchatka, and Vladivostok is way down here. The Kuril Islands here are contested islands with Japan. Russia has a disagreement on that. They're very militarized here in the Kuril Islands. So they are rotating out their S-300, I'm sure not all, defensive systems, sending them to Ukraine. I have a feeling they're not only sending them to Ukraine, but they are also sending them to key places like the Biscoff Air Base, because evidently the air defense is not completely functioning. So we'll see, but that's where the Kuril Islands are. So a lot of rotation of equipment is now coming. It's a long ways away. I know you guys saw this. This is on all the news today, if you understood it, but Russia officially today put the Sarmat on combat ready status. This is also referred to in English as the Satan II Sarmat, the Satan II. This is their intercontinental ballistic missiles at basically 18,000 kilometer range, supposedly the greatest in the world, whatever. Of course, when Biden was in Kyiv, they did a test fire and it failed. But regardless, nuclear warheads, 10 warheads. The mass of the launch systems, 210 tons. I'm just translating some of that for you. So all I can tell you is it's just logistics, but they did move it to combat status. Kuril Islands are Japanese islands. Agreed. Ukraine is Ukraine. Georgia's Georgia. Niger is Niger. Oh, you guys are getting ready to hear something about that. You're not going to believe what I have for you tonight on that. So there's the Sarmat. Now, Ukraine is having, so we've had some good things on the counteroffensive, good things on strikes in Russia, good things on Zelensky and Podolyak reiterating the response even after Kirby said, we're not happy with what you're doing there with the long distance strikes. Great. Now, over on the left, that guy represents like a hacker. That's basically the image there of a hacker. Ukraine is experiencing a very tough time on the front line right now with Android tablets. Russian military hackers have been able to successfully hack in via Starlink into their Android tablets, not Apple tablets, but the Android systems, which is the open system. And they have extracted quite a bit of information. Of course, Ukraine tries and successfully does the same thing to Russia. They equally have incredible hackers. But this is what Ukraine is trying to clean up right now. Russia was able to break through the security that were on those systems, and they utilized Starlink to do it. So it's something we'll have to watch. And you say, well, why are they running around with tablets? Because it's 2023, and a lot of battle plans or communications that used to be on the telephones on a wire or a telegram. Well, now they're coming through cell phones and tablets. Matt Apples, thank you for that. Thank you for saying something in the chat there. You're very welcome. Elon gave them a back door. I'm sure of it. Russ, I'm not. You're referring to the Ukrainians. I do not know that. I can tell you where we have a Starlink that we use on the front line. We have our own. But I also was there. Yes, drones were operated by tablets. That's correct as well, and phones. But No, I didn't hear anything about that when I was there. We would roll in, hang out with some soldiers, need to hop on the Wi-Fi and connect to their Starlink. So no special security protocols that I know of. So that's where we're at with that. It's a problem. Tonight, speaking of a soldier, this is my friend Fish. You guys have seen him on many of our streams. He's alive and well. This is not a tribute. This is, I want you to think about this. This is my friend, Ukrainian Hero, call sign Fish. He has a very important job in the Ukrainian military. He's also one of the key soldiers that makes a lot of the things happen for Zhenya and us, especially working in the South, getting into the very, 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 very front lines. And Fish always takes care of us. And if we need his help somewhere else, he's making the connections for us. He's a ranking guy, and he has a very, very important job that I can't even tell you what he does, but it's very important. So tonight, I wanted to give everybody a glimpse. No music, no drama, just reality. Tonight, you are wherever you're at in the world, and we've gained international viewers from many, many continents. You're in your home, you're in your car, you're at work, everything's good. I just want you to see 20 seconds of what a Ukrainian soldier is dealing with 24/7. So tonight, I'm just giving a shout out to a guy I know that's a Ukrainian hero. And when I'm there, Zhenya's there, he takes care of us. He takes care of us big time. Here's reality. It says video without music. That, my friends, is reality. Every day, every hour. You know, we always see the reports, or we're sharing here what hits what city's been hit, what school, what hospital. But those guys in those trenches every day. So remember them in your prayers and in your thoughts, because that's the reality of what's happening. So there's old Fish. Okay, my friends in Great Britain. I don't know anything about Grant Shapps. Cinnamon, I'm very careful what I share. Thank you for checking in from Alberta. It's hard to see, but it's reality. I'm very careful on what I share because A, I want to stay on the air, and B, you know, it's tough, but that one's real. Everything's fine, everything's good, but it's reality. So, Ben Wallace, who's been very good for Ukraine, very helpful, strong. He came after Liz Truss, who was strong. We are in day 555 of this war. Folks, think about this for a moment. Day 555, and one of the most powerful nations in the world, Great Britain, has changed their defense minister 3 times, their Secretary of Defense. It's crazy. So we've got Tim here saying Shapps has said he supports Ukraine. We'll see. Yeah, he's just an interesting guy. Well, I can't say that. He's a guy I know nothing about. You see, when Liz Truss was the secretary, powerful. And then we started hearing the rumblings she was leaving, and it would most likely be Ben Wallace. We already knew about him and his strong support for Ukraine. Now he's gone and this guy comes on. Now we have the answer. We have a resident of Great Britain. He can't be trusted. That's my point. This is why I actually put this in here tonight, because I figured we'd have a friend from across the pond watching. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm not too hip on it though. A lot of changes, and it's, you know, one thing about the changes that should share with the world that Ukraine really is doing a good job. Do you realize Zelensky hasn't changed? Podolyak hasn't changed. Danilov hasn't changed. Budanov hasn't changed. Zaluzhny hasn't changed. If they're so corrupt and bad, why are they still there? Because they're not. They're good guys fighting multiple war fronts. Russia the invader, corruption in their own country, public image in the world, you name it, they're fighting for it and fighting for their very lives. So I think that's a testament to Ukraine. We see major nations switching all the time, and who knows what's going to happen in 2024 in the United States and the rest of the world as well. So interesting. And Mark tells us that he can't be trusted. Kim Jong-un and Putin, we already know that weapons are flowing from North Korea to Russia, but the reason I'm sharing this tonight is because we're almost to the point where they're going to draft official documents on the transfer of military supplies in return for what Russia's going to provide North Korea. So we know it's happening 100%, but they're getting ready to go public with it. And they are working on it. The documents are done. I'm telling you, they're done. And we'll see what happens, because the world's flipping out on this. Folks, I hate putting this guy's picture up here. I hate it. But I have to tonight. I have to. Because, okay. In fact, I'm going to get his picture down. Guys. All right. Let me explain this to you. We talked about Orban and Tucker Carlson's love fest. We know about all their madness. But tonight, I'm going to share with you a small clip of Tucker Carlson talking about the war in Ukraine and what's going to happen in 2024, and then it's going to be a hot war, and America's going to be in war against Russia. I could care less about his commentary, but what I want you to see is what is it subtitled in. It is subtitled in Russian. I received this video from Russia. Everybody on the same page here? I received it from Russia. Now, if we go to Russia Today, I'm on their website right now. You're seeing it. Belarus claims Polish military chopper violated its border. We'll talk about that in a moment. Over here, Russia is absolutely invincible. I translated the page to English for you guys. Other stories here, not worried about that, but just scroll down here. And this was at the top, but now it's moved on down. You see, they are using this guy. And the ignorance that abounds in a guy that was much more balanced and bright. Not that he's not bright. He's a smart guy, but acute in his understanding 5 and 10 years ago. I don't understand how he can be so blind and ignorant in this situation. So my point in showing you this is I received the video from Russia. It's subtitled in Russian. And here I have you on Russia Today. And this is one of their main stories. U.S. headed for hot war with Russia, Tucker Carlson. This is a problem. Here's Tucker's little clip.
Administration has no idea what it's doing, that Joe Biden is not running the government, and they're going to go to war with Russia is what they're going to do. There will be a hot war between the United States and Russia in the next year. I don't think we'll win it, but that's a separate analysis. But I think it's a political matter. They need to declare war footing in order to assume war powers in order to win. You should be worried about the prospect of an open war. We're already at war with Russia, of course. We're funding their enemies. So we're fighting Russia. But I mean, an open battle with Russia where we say we're at war with Russia. I think that could easily happen. I see true hysteria. Like they've convinced themselves that our global enemy is Russia. And I really think they mean that. And certainly the Republicans mean it.
So listen, he just doesn't understand. That right there, folks, is Kremlin propaganda coming through American media and becomes American propaganda. And what he doesn't understand, because evidently he doesn't have enough sense to understand this, is that now Putin and the Kremlin will use that 2 minutes for their glory. That is plastered right now everywhere in Russia. It's plastered everywhere. And what Mr. Carlson does not understand is that Russia will use that completely to their advantage. Not about, and why would you as an American anyway say, if we go to war with Russia, we can't beat them? Sir, what planet are you on? Give me the Gerald R. Ford aircraft carrier in that group of ships and get out of my way and let them roll up in the Black Sea, and this war's over once we put our birds in the air. What? You must be a communist yourself to even say that stuff. It's you know what? You and Robert Kennedy Jr., why don't you go to dinner and love on each other? Because you're the one telling America we're going to go to a hot war with Russia that we're going to lose, and Russia will use that for their glory. And we have Robert Kennedy Jr., Robert F. Kennedy, whichever one rank he is down the line, telling us months ago that it's America killing the Ukrainians. I got news for you too, Mr. Kennedy. Russia used that to their advantage. These people have no idea what they're doing, and it's very sad. And unfortunately, he's got this platform and he's rolling it. It's tragedy. It's trash. Absolute trash. I need to stop. So there you have it. Yes, Max Blumenthal. Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's sad, guys. It's really sad. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Monday. I told you guys September the 8th. They moved it up to Monday, September the 4th. And that is as of this evening, coming directly from Biscoff, spokesperson for the Kremlin. Erdogan will go to Sochi to meet with Putin. And it's for discussions about the Green Deal. But I would love to be a fly on the wall and see if there are other things that will be discussed. So we'll see what happens there. But that definitely is happening, where Putin and Erdogan are going to meet. And of course, in Russia. Now, get ready, guys. Oh, boy. So this is look at the map first. The Tver region, Tver, Tver region. This is the region northwest of Moscow. This is the region that is Putin's home region. Putin this evening went and visited a small village. And of course, the press is all there and it's all a big show. But I just want you to see it. I'll translate a little bit for you as they're talking. Here it is. This is what Putin's doing tonight.
Российской Федерации.
Oh, here comes the president of the Russian Federation.
Владимир Владимирович, выйди, пожалуйста. Ну, пожалуйста.
Look, that's Vladimir Vladimirovich.
Ну, пожалуйста.
Oh, please stop, please stop.
Да.
Yes, yes.
Вот так вот.
Oh, there's his car.
Ой, как хорошо. Ой, как хорошо. Да можно.
Мы ждали вас. Мы ждали вас, Владимир Владимирович.
Oh, we were waiting for you. We were waiting for you.
Очень рады, мы ждали. Рады вас видеть.
We wish you joy, wish you health. He says, I was just driving through and stopped.
Долгих лет вам жизни.
We thank you for all of your life.
Да. Спасибо, что вы к нам приезжаете, нас не забываете.
We're all for you.
Чувствую, вообще просто мы все за вас.
He's saying, I thank you guys for supporting Russia and supporting me. We were just moving through, and I said, let's stop, guys, let's stop.
Теперь хороших работников.
Слушайте, я с удивлением узнал сейчас, что у вас физику преподает кандидат наук, бывший преподаватель вуза. Не только. А до этого работал в гражданском вузе. И работая с детьми, с удовольствием.
Well, I'm just working and moving through, and, you know, this is a part of my work. This is part of what I do.
Но мало у нас специалистов, очень.
Ну, это понятно. Но, вы знаете, сейчас условия будут такие.
We love you very much. I understand. We support very much.
Жилья. Да, жилья.
Да, согласен.
Чтобы ехали молодые специалисты.
You're looking very young today, President. You're looking very young.
Спасибо, Владимир Владимирович.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Look at the cameras. Okay, now let me explain it to you. That is a fake crowd in a real village in the Tver region. But listen to me. Nobody is getting that close to Vladimir Putin with their cell phones, and shaking hands, and all the love fest going on. It's not happening. Did he stop in a village? Yes. Were those random villagers? Heck no. That was all staged. But you have Tucker Carlson spewing his trash that will be plastered all over Russian media. And you will, right behind it, have video of the wonderful President Putin taking time to stop at the village and love on the people. Folks, this is the picture. This is what they do. Okay? Now, I'm not going political on this, but think about your own country. What pictures are painted to you of your president? Is he out walking around with the people and sharing love and being kind and saying thank you, and they're wishing him health and love? No, in our country, we have nothing but hatred in our political system. For those of you that are watching from different countries in the world, I don't know how your system is, but right now our country is full of hate and division and separation. So they will paint that every time Joe Biden does something crazy, every time Donald Trump opens his mouth, every time whatever Vivek Ramaswamy opens his mouth, they will plaster it, they will translate it, and then they will show the beauty of their president. Who else is seeing it? India, China, Iran. You say, well, what are they watching? Because Russia pumps it all in there into their languages. Remember, the information and the media war Ukraine is being destroyed on. And evidently, America is as well. They will pump stories just like that. And I am showing it to you on purpose right behind Tucker so you understand this is the mentality. And we are in day 555. Unbelievable. And they will keep chipping and chipping and chipping and chipping. And those that used to support Ukraine will say, maybe we're wrong. Look, the guy's there. Look. I'm telling you, this is how the Soviet Union works. And Vivek Ramaswamy, you're wrong. Pence is right. It may not be officially called the Soviet Union, but they're dreaming about it. They're dreaming about it. Media. Yeah. I put these three things in order on purpose. These types of stories are used to manipulate the masses. Here's one more for you tonight. I got this story from some European media. Do you remember Wagner down there stirring up the mess in Niger? They were. And then Niger has the coup. We kick France out. Then all of a sudden we start seeing these Russian flags. And you may be sitting there tonight going, well, it's just Niger. Who cares? You can't do that. You can't do that. This is the way a majority of Africa is. They look to Russia and China as the answer. A majority of African nations. And you may ask, well, you ever been to Africa? Yes, I have many, many times, and I've witnessed it with my own eyes. So let me show you this. It'll speak for itself. It will speak for itself. You're going to hear like 90 seconds of a report about the coup in Niger, the French ambassador not welcome back. They're talking about Macron. But the point I'm sharing for you is this. Yeah, Herman, they don't even know exactly the flag's upside down. Good eye, buddy. Good eye. Yes, loaded with uranium. Africa is loaded. You're going to hear about Macron in France, but watch the last 20 seconds of this.
Says they have instructed police to expel the French ambassador to the country. In a statement, the junta, which seized power in a coup on July 26, says Sylvain Iter no longer had diplomatic immunity. The ambassador was ordered to leave within 48 hours on Friday, in response to actions taken by the French government that the junta said were, quote, contrary to the interests of Niger. The visas of the ambassador and his family were cancelled, the junta said in a statement dated August 29th, and confirmed as authentic by the junta's head of communications. The foreign ministry in Paris responded on Thursday, saying that the Niger coup leaders have, quote, no authority to ask France's ambassador in Niamey to leave. French President Emmanuel Macron said on Monday that the ambassador would stay in the country despite the junta's pressure, and reiterated France's support to Niger's ousted president Mohamed Bazoum. And on Wednesday, hundreds of women protested outside the French embassy in Niamey, calling for France to remove its troops and military bases from the country. They banged on pots and pans, pretended to sweep, and chanted anti-French slogans.
You can see we've emptied out our kitchens. We've come here with pans and spoons and cooking pots. We're here to say no to imperialism. We were born to colonialism. We're tired of letting the colonizers rule, and that's why we're here.
We don't want macaroni anymore, or whatever his name is. I don't even care to know his name. We need another type of base here. For example, Russia. May Russia come here and support us. We need Russia.
Like recent coups in neighbouring Burkina Faso and Mali, the military takeover in Niger came amid a growing wave of anti-French sentiment.
Did you catch the last 20 seconds? We need a new base. We need Russia. Russia, come here. I'm telling you guys, it's all connected. This war in Ukraine is connected, and there's no telling what world we're going to wake up to in a month. I'm not a doomsdayer. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. This is easy to see. It's crazy what is unfolding. Calling for Russia. Come on down here. The story today, Poland chopper flying 1,200 meters into Belarusian airspace. This is actually the news report released by Belarus. You can see the chopper there. They pause it. They show the border, Belarus, Poland, and it flies back into Polish airspace. This is Belarusian news. That's it. They're just showing that. The point being, once again, it'll be used. It will be used. I showed you guys earlier on RT. That was the lead story. And supposedly tomorrow, Lukashenko is supposed to give his response. Once again, remember, it was Russia saying that, in Biscoff, evidently NATO came across the border and helped hit our airport. Now all they're going to say is, hey, NATO, provocation, coming across the border, 1,200 meters into Belarus. That's our little brother. This is what happens step by step by step. So we'll keep an eye on it. Now, this is what I want to close with tonight. School begins. I tried to explain to you guys tonight the culture over there. First of all, on the calendar. Summer's over, September the 1st, now already the 2nd in Ukraine. It's the beginning of fall, and school starts September 1. School in Ukraine, I want to show it to you tonight. Culturally, let me tell you what happens. It's completely different than anywhere else that I know of. When school starts in Ukraine, or when school starts in Russia, it is an official day. Everyone dresses up in their dresses and their suits, and the leaders or the mayor or representatives, they come out and they ring a bell, ding, 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 and they do a little march, and they basically bless the kids to have a good year in school. It's a beautiful cultural thing. It's really nice. But today, day one in Kyiv didn't happen. And why did it not happen? Because bomb threats were called in to all the Kyiv schools. So in Kyiv, they had to cancel their bell ringing, dressing up ceremonies. In Kharkiv, they had it. I'm going to show you now the mayor of Kharkiv initiating school, but not in a school ground, not at a school. Kharkiv today opened school for the kids underground in the subways. Now they'll march. That's what they do. That's underground in the subway. Kryvyi Rih, the home city of President Zelensky, also having schools in bomb shelters. Remember what Zelensky said? They need to feel a little bit of what we have to feel. Our children having school and ringing the bell in the bunkers. These kids singing Ukrainian hymn. You see the sunflowers and they're dressed. These are the things the world needs to see. It's on media nowhere, but this is what's happening. Now, as I close out, you may say, okay, how did school start in Mariupol today? Well, I'm glad you asked. Mariupol, of course, under Russian occupation. Mariupol began school with their bell ringing, but in this case, they had a dramatic event for the Russian media to see and the world to see. Here, what I'm going to show you, you have Pushilin. This is going to be the guy in the beard talking, and he is the governor of the Donetsk region, the occupied part, over Mariupol, Donetsk, that whole region. He's one of Putin's guys. And they come to the school, and he's talking to this little boy. His name is Ivan. And he's giving him a message from Vladimir Putin. And this little boy, not more than 7 or 8 years old, is talking back to Vladimir Putin. And I just want you to understand how important this is. Vladimir Putin and all the regional leaders of like the education systems, they're on a satellite call or like a Zoom call, and they're talking with these kids, showing how great the Mariupol schools are. Check this out. Don't be shy, young man. Dear Vladimir Vladimirovich, my name is Ivan. I'm in the first grade, and I want to thank you very much for taking care of my favorite city of Mariupol. Don't worry. Vladimir Vladimirovich asked whether you liked how the high school students are taking care of you. Was it okay? Did you enjoy it? Da. Sorry about that. I was translating into English, and then I spoke Russian. Da, meaning yes. So here you can see it. I'll freeze it there. And first of all, this was on Russian state TV today, live. You've got Putin sitting there in the same suit. He went to the Tver region. Bottom left, you have Pushilin and the little boy. Upper right, you have leaders of educational systems. They're all on this call together. And that is what is blasted through Russia. So that's what you have. You know what, though? I think I'm going to give you one more. Let me give you one more. If I have it here, I think I've got it. Yeah, right here. All right. I'm going to do this one at the very end because they may take me off. This is copyrighted, probably. Maybe not. Not the video, the music. So there was one Ukrainian school that just rocked it. So you're going to see this school opening. And everybody's dressed and there's soldiers there that are evidently their kids are in school. Look on the porch and you're going to see this little Ukrainian boy dancing. I think this is a great way to end the update tonight. Check him out. The little boy. So that'll put a smile on your face. That little boy there rejoicing, and I remind you, those are the targets. Unbelievable. I think the song was perfect. We're not going to take it anymore. I think that was the inspiration for Zelensky and Podolyak. Budanov saying, Kirby, you can tell us what you want. We're going to hit them. So there you have it. Beautiful, beautiful little feel good there. Thank you for being here. Hopefully that puts a smile on your face tonight. I'll check everything real quick. I can tell you this. So we'll go here. All's quiet right now. And on TASS, this is Russian news. This is right now Russia saying its forces destroyed a Ukrainian sea drone moving to attack the Crimean Bridge. That's what the news is tonight. And then the other thing here is interesting. Putin plans to meet with Xi Jinping soon. That also will be interesting. So that's on TASS right now. Thank you, guys. Hopefully that little boy rocking out puts a smile on your face. You guys be blessed. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the continued support. Share. Tell others. Get them to subscribe. And let's keep sharing the truth. You guys be blessed. Anything goes sideways over the weekend, we'll come in with a live update. And make sure you have the notifications on so you would know that. And if not, we'll see you Monday evening. You guys be blessed. Have a great weekend. Good night.
Слава Україні!
Yeah!